what research is now showing is that inside our stomach, the gut, what we call the gut, is more like the digestive system. It's a digestive system from your mouth up to your anus. That big tube. Inside that tube, we have what we call the microbiota. And this microbiota is microbes. Microbes are like things that we call germs. And most of what is there is bacteria. Lots, millions and millions, not millions, trillions of bacteria are living inside us, especially in the area of the small intestines. And these trillions of bacteria, they depend on our inside, our gut for their survival. And for them, the inside of our gut, for some people, they are like A, some people like B, some people it's like C. And these microbes that are there, now, I said that there are trillions of them. And it is estimated that there are around 100,000 trillions of them inside our guts or inside our intestines. And if you think that a human being is made of cells, cells in our human body are like blocks that we use to build a house. So when the house is built, you look at the house looks full. You don't see the block. But they put one by one block to build a house. Cells into a human body are like blocks. All right. Our body, if I look like say this Bongaman here, Bongaman have around 70 trillion cells. So if a human body have around 70 trillion cells, and our guts have more than 100 trillion cells, what that tells you is that there are more of those foreign bodies that are living in you than the you. There are more bacteria on your body than your cells. And if we are made of cells, it means that we are more microbes than human. We are more microbes than human. And just like how we, the human being now, are destroying the environment in which we live, as we are destroying the ecology of where we are living, just like now they said, oh, the ecosystem, you have an internal ecosystem. And if your internal ecosystem is destroyed, then those bacteria will suffer. And when those bacteria suffer, the consequences for us is massive. God is so wonderful. He doesn't make anything without work. Before, they didn't know the importance of these bacteria. You look at it, if you just look at it, you can look at that later on. It's from the British Medical Journal, 2018. And the thing with the microbes is that those microbes, if we take like one of them, because the microbes, they act like industries that are inside our body. They produce chemical reactions, and those chemical reactions, they help in our digestion. Those chemical reactions, they can even affect our mind. The chemical reactions, they affect our mind. The chemical reactions, they affect our blood. The chemical reaction affect even our nervous system. And the chemical reaction affects practically every aspect of a human body. Now, they used to say that if they look at your gene, they could say that, oh, because of this type of gene, you are going to have this type of disease. Now they are saying that the microbiome or the microbes in your stomach, the microbes that are in your stomach, they can easily determine more of your health situation than your genes. they are now a bigger determinant of your health situation than your gene. And the thing is that as there are trillions of them, those trillions are very different. They are very diverse. They are different. It's like I said, you have a jungle where you have the monkey, where you have the rat, where you have mopsy, where you have birds, where the diversity is very high. And the more the diversity, the more better it is for you. And the lower the diversity, the more dangerous it is for you. So these bacteria, one of the things which they realize is that if they look at one of the microbes or one of the bacteria, they have something like a coat on their body, and that coat releases chemicals, called lipopolysaccharides. Those chemicals, remember I mentioned inflammation? That chemicals that they release, it can affect inflammation. And the thing with the bacteria is that when they don't get what they need to eat, then they start eating your stomach, the wall of your stomach. And when they eat the wall of your stomach, when they leave the chemicals which they produce, the chemicals are very fine inside your stomach. But if the chemicals go into your blood, there are toxins. And those toxins are destructive. The toxin, they can cause things like septic shock. The toxin, they can cause, you can cause you shock. The toxin, they can give you diseases. And now they are linking that diseases, like I mentioned, inflammation, diseases like your blood pressure, diseases like your diabetes, diseases that like stroke, diseases like cancer, all of these diseases, those diseases that I mentioned that are increasing the massive diseases that are taking us to the doctors today. Those diseases that they say Black people are more vulnerable to. Those diseases are diversified. Those diseases are being influenced by these bacteria in our stomach.
I don't have coins.
Those diseases are being affected by these bacteria. I'm sorry, maybe I've got longer than we're supposed to, but So that's what happened when you put Edwin to talk. He just talk. I will try and go faster. Okay. So please, all right. And the thing is, when you eat healthily, and healthily mean, sometimes we say healthily, fruits and vegetables are good, but the emphasis is that you can eat anything. Not anytime. But the anything, when I say anything, is more of, it needs to be whole food. There was a video that I put, which I shared, I think it was shared in Banin, where I talk about, when we talk about carbohydrates, that the problem with the carbohydrates that we have is that they are processed carbohydrates. And most of those processed carbohydrates, they get digested before they even reach where these guys are present. The biggest thing that this thing live on is fiber. And when we take processed carbohydrate, they have removed the fiber from it. Be it the corn, be it rice, be it fruits. When you take fruits and you squeeze them, you throw away the fiber. And these things, they live so well on fiber. These things, they live so well on fermented food. Things like kefir, things like yogurt. They live so well on those foods. Those are the things that these things need. So if you take care of them, they take care of you. They live in you. They don't cause any problem. But if you don't, they cause massive problem. So if you think about diet, for me, the emphasis is you have to think, is whatever you are eating, is it fitting these guys? And these are, sometimes when you hear like this, they said, oh, there is yogurt, it's a probiotic yogurt. They are simply saying it's a yogurt that is good for your good bacteria. It's the yogurt that is good for your good bacteria. And the recommendation is that if you can eat, like said, more plant-based, different variety. If you are eating fruit, eat different colors of fruit. Don't just say 5 a day and you eat 5 apples. Don't just say 5 a day and you are eating 5 oranges every day. No, please eat variety. And they say, if you are using herbs, the more that you eat, the more the variety of the things that you eat, be it spices that are herbs, the more variety, the more of those different, the variety of the microbes that you also feed. And if you look at this diagram, it tells you the diseases that, that the thing causes. It causes intoxication, which I have mentioned, and then those at the top in purple, or is it pink, are the things that destroys it. And on your right are the things that are so good for it. And the next thing that I want to talk about diet, I said, when we talk about diet, it is what you eat. The second thing is when you eat. And when we look at this research, it is what we call time-restricted feeding.